In less than 2 weeks, voters in Alabama will head to the polls for a big election day. It's the statewide general election and the midterm elections for Congress. This morning, we're talking about the race for Alabama Attorney General. And incumbent Steve Marshall facing off against Democrat Joe Siegelman, joining us to talk about that race. Also want to say it's his birthday. Came in on his birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
We
Appreciate you having me.
And coming in as well. Now, one of the issues that you've been pushing is this opioid crisis and how to deal with that. How do you think we need to handle that?
You know, when I walked into office, Alabama had no strategic plan. We had people that were working on the issue, but yet the data was telling us that Alabama was lagging behind the country. And so we were able to develop a 27-point plan that's been recognized around the country as one of the most comprehensive in trying to address the problem. We didn't get into it overnight. We won't get out of it overnight, but yet very encouraged by the progress. We've seen a 23% reduction over a 5-year period in opioid prescriptions, providing additional services to people seeking treatment, and otherwise, I think working with law enforcement to give them some additional tools to fight heroin and fentanyl, which are killing young people across the country.
Yeah, it's a big issue that a lot of people really need someone to do something about. Something else, let's talk about this $735,000 campaign contribution that your opponent has been pointing out through the campaign. How do you respond to them saying that this may be a campaign violation? You
know, it's a refresh of an old argument asserted by another candidate in the campaign, rejected by a circuit court in Montgomery when it was presented to them. You know, it's simply a fact that my opponent can't deal with the issues and the conservative fight that we've taken for Alabama across a variety of areas. And so, again, we're very confident that not only the campaign has done exactly what we're supposed to do, but also the Republican attorneys general who gave us that donation, that they likewise did their due diligence.
All right. Also, Alabama isn't the only state to deal with political corruption. We've seen our fair share of it here. How do we need to handle this in terms of ethics laws, in terms of making sure that we cut down on government corruption?
Well, we need to be vigilant from the AG's office to continue to fight on that, both from the investigative and prosecution side. You know, we've seen that we've been successful during my time. We've prosecuted anybody from district attorneys to law enforcement to public officials and public employees across the state, and we'll continue to do that. Also, we'll make sure that we're partnering with our federal friends as well. You know, we've seen prosecutions obviously here recently in Birmingham. To me, it's not a question of who does the prosecution or the investigation, as long as we're working collaboratively together, and we'll continue to do that.
At this point, I guess there will not be a debate between you and Joe Siegelman. Why didn't Alabama voters get a chance to see the two of you debate?
Well, you know, we can look at our opponent and figure out whether or not they offer themselves up to be able to do it. We've been around the state now for the last, almost 16 months, it feels like, that we've been on a campaign, being able to share a vision and ideas for where Alabama is. But yet I think our records are clear. It's very much from the standpoint of where we've been and what we've talked about. There's a clear contrast between the two of us, and Alabama's going to have an opportunity to make that choice.
Got about 20 seconds left here. Make your case to voters. Why should they vote for you instead of Joe Siegelman?
You know, 20 years as a prosecutor, we've been there for that voice for law enforcement and victims around the state. We've had success at the state level in passing legislation to assist victims in law enforcement in seeking justice. And beyond that, we fought the battles that are important to the people of Alabama and stood up for them across the country.
You also came in on your birthday.
Yes.
Talk to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Steve Marshall, incumbent Attorney General, good luck as you continue to go forward.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. Let's get it.